friends, welcome back to our second part of our lecture number 7. Okay, and all the lectures I will be uploading on the website in the proper sequential manner. So even if some of you may find it difficult to find the answers or to find the lectures, that won't be a problem when I will upload all the lectures on the website. Okay, so just keep attending my lectures. Okay, so yesterday we have completed up to the ribosomes. So today we are going to conduct a lecture on Golgi apparatus. Okay, so these are all the synonyms, and you won't find all these synonyms at one point anywhere, and I'm guaranteeing you that. So remember these synonyms. Okay, these are the Golgi apparatus. Okay, the trophospongium, the dictyosomes, the lipochondria, Dalton complex, polysystem, and cytomembranes. Okay, so all of these synonyms are very much important. UPSC many times ask the questions on synonym only. So at that time you may find it difficult to write answer. So in every lecture, many of the times, if there are sub synonyms available, I usually do, and I will continue to do. Give the synonyms to you. Okay, so remember these synonyms. So let's start with what is the location of the endoplasmic reticulum? Sorry, Golgi apparatus. Location of the Golgi apparatus is called as situated at the cell center, a point which is also accommodated by the centrosome also, and it is also near to the nucleus. So that's why it is called as a cell center. So what are the regions of Golgi apparatus? So there is a part of a structure of Golgi apparatus, and it also called as the regions. So the regions can be referred as regions are not a fixed structural part. Okay, these are just regions in which the entire Golgi structure is divided, right? So what are the regions are? Regions are, see, if you have attended my yesterday's lecture, then you must know that the endoplasmic reticulum, or mostly the rough endoplasmic reticulum, sends the proteins and other enzymes to process to the Golgi apparatus. Okay, so the phase nearer to this rough endoplasmic reticulum is cis phase, right? And this cis phase is further divided into the cis Golgi network and cis cisterna. Well, the cis cisterna will have only the cisterna in structure, a flattened disc, and the cis Golgi network will have also the cisterna, flattened sac-like structure, and the tubules. Okay. The next region of the Golgi apparatus will be the medial cisterna. Okay, medial cisterna obviously the middle part, middle sac-like structure. The next phase, which is away from the rough endoplasmic reticulum, it is called as transphase. And what are it is divided into transcisterna and trans-Golgi network. Okay, so the transcisterna will have a flattened sac-like structure, and the trans-Golgi network will have a sac-like structure along with a tubular structure also, right? So this cis phase is also called as a forming phase, right? Because it is forming from the endoplasmic reticulum or it is forming the Golgi apparatus. And this transphase is also called as maturing phase because it has a much matured phase, also as a secretory phase also, where the Golgi apparatus actually secretes different proteins. Okay, so this is the regions of the Golgi apparatus. Next is actually how the structure is, and how the structure of this Golgi apparatus is. See, all of these, the first part will obviously the flattened sacs or cisterna. All of these cisternae, which are a sac-like structure, these. So this is one part of the structure. Okay, so these are called cisterna. And there are two important points to remember in the cisternae structure is that the fenestration, and what does it mean that fenestration is the membrane of cisterna may sometimes have small pores inside the membrane, and those pores, so that's why it is referred as being fenestrated. So that's why it is called the fenestration of the cisterna. So that is a one point to remember of in case of cisternae. And another point is intercisternal elements. And what are these intercisternal elements? These are just heavy, dense materials. Okay, the composition is not quite correctly known. So these are just dense material which are present in between these cisterna. So as they are just referred as the interstitial elements. Okay. So these are the 2 points in the cisterna. The next part of the structure is the small tubules and the vesicles. All these tubules and the vesicles which are going to be formed from the Golgi apparatus is the second part. And the third part is large vacuoles. Okay, sometimes they are just vacuoles also formed out of this Golgi apparatus, which are filled with the amorphous or the granular substance, or sometimes a clear fluid. So that is the third part of the Golgi apparatus structure. So these are the 3 parts: flattened sac, small tubules, and the large vacuoles. The next is the function. The major part of the Golgi apparatus is the function. So what are the functions? The first function will be the secretion of the macromolecules on the enzymes or the proteins. And these, whatever these constituents or the enzymes, proteins, macromolecules comes inside these Golgi apparatus, they ultimately come from where? Endoplasmic reticulum. Most of them. So many of some of them might just synthesize in Golgi apparatus also. Okay, some of them come to the Golgi apparatus from cytoplasm also directly. So this all the materials which are inside this Golgi apparatus, they are secreted into the cytoplasm, and there are 2 types of this secretion. And what are those? They are constitutive secretion and regulative secretion. And what are these types? See, let me tell you about the constitutive secretion. See, these are the this is the where the constitutive secretion happens. And how does it happen? See, whatever the proteins or macromolecules or enzymes that are fixed to be synthesized or that are predetermined to be exocytosed from the cell, okay, or the exocytosis or the secretion of those plasma membrane which does not require any receptor gated signal or the external receptor ligand signal, and this constitutive secretion also occurs on its own. Okay, so this kind of secretion without any stimulus of any receptor or ligand is called as constitutive secretion. And what does it do is that there are different proteins and enzymes or macromolecules which are inside the Golgi apparatus. Okay, so these materials are packaged in the vesicle, and ultimately this vesicle fuses with the plasma membrane. So whatever the constituents or whatever the membrane inside it gets deposited or integrated with the plasma membrane. Okay, so what we get out of the constitutive secretion is that it regenerates the plasma membrane, or it renews the plasma membrane, or it enrich the plasma membrane with required macromolecules and the protein. Okay, so this is the constitutive secretion without any requirement of the stimulus, right? But there is a regulation also. It does not have any regulation kind of thing. But a regulated secretion is where there is a kind of receptor ligand stimulus for this secretion. Like if suppose the body requires neurotransmitters to be released into the blood, so these signals will be generated with a kind of ligand which gets attached to this receptor, and these receptors will ultimately take signals to the cell cytoplasm to that you should release the neurotransmitters to inside the cell. And at that time, the neurotransmitter containing vesicles which are formed out of Golgi apparatus, they are exocytosed by combining with the plasma membrane. So this is the regulated secretion. So this is the function of major function of Golgi apparatus. Okay. So next we will study of the second function, that is the proteins processing and secretion. Okay. See, whatever the proteins are synthesized by the ribosomal units, and they just pass them to the endoplasmic reticulum, and next step they end up to the Golgi apparatus. Okay, so these proteins are concentrated and transformed into zymogen granules. Okay, by the Golgi apparatus. Means the further processing of these proteins is done by the Golgi apparatus. And what are these zymogen granules are? These zymogen are what? These are the enzyme precursor. What means by precursor? Means once in the cytoplasm, after activation, it will form the final usable form of the enzyme. Okay, and these precursor of these enzymes are formed inside the Golgi apparatus. These are called as zymogen granules. So this is second function of the Golgi apparatus. Third is the polysaccharide synthesis and secretion. In the polysaccharide synthesis and secretion, there are two major parts. Like the first is the glycosylation. Okay, first one is the glycosylation. Second one is the mucigen granules formation. The glycosylation occurs in the case of in the endoplasmic reticulum also and the Golgi apparatus also. But the final initial processing of the glycosylation, initial process of the glycosylation occurs in the endoplasmic reticulum, and the final touch-up is given by Golgi apparatus, right? So this is the first function of Golgi apparatus related to the polysaccharide synthesis and secretion. And after that, obviously, once they are glycosylated, they are just released in the form of vesicles into the cytoplasm. Next also is the mucigen granule formation. So endoplasmic reticulum proteins are when they come from the endoplasmic reticulum to the Golgi apparatus, they are further complexed with the sugars inside the Golgi apparatus, or the sugars which are present in the Golgi apparatus which came from the cytoplasm. And after the sugars are added to these proteins, it forms the glycoprotein. Inside the Golgi apparatus only there is a further processing of these glycoproteins, and it finally forms what? Mucigen. Right? So these are mucigenous carbohydrates or sugar. Okay, right? Viscous carbohydrates. So this is the third function of the Golgi apparatus. Next is the sulfation. Sulfation is the sulfotransferases located in the Golgi membrane. Sulfation, you can whenever there are sulfur-containing macromolecules are there, or some enzymes are there, if there is a need of sulfation of those, that sulfation is done in the Golgi apparatus with the help of sulfotransferases which are present inside the Golgi membrane. Okay, so this is the fourth. And the fifth function is the plasma membrane formation. What is meant by plasma membrane formation? As I have already explained you that in the constitutive secretion, I have said that in these vesicles, there are plasma membrane proteins, plasma membrane macromolecules. Okay, they come in this vesicle from Golgi apparatus, right? And once these vesicles fuse with this plasma membrane, the first thing will happen is that whatever the membrane of this vesicle will be, that vesicle's membrane will be the plasma membrane, will be the new plasma membrane, right? Also, if there are some proteins inside it, those proteins will also attach to this plasma membrane, enriching its constituents, okay, enriching its composition. Okay. So this is how the plasma membrane is synthesized or enriched by the Golgi apparatus. Next is the lipid packaging and secretion. Okay, whatever the lipid droplets come inside the Golgi apparatus, either from that smooth endoplasmic reticulum or cytoplasm, they are converted into chylomicrons. Okay, and to these chylomicrons, the carbohydrates are also added in this Golgi apparatus. Okay, and what are these chylomicrons, glycosylation, and all these terms you will get to know one by one, because we are going to study in the coming lectures, right? So we don't need to worry about that. Okay, and the thing about the lecture is that even if you think these lectures are short, the detailed notes I have already uploaded in my Telegram channel and Telegram website. Okay, from there you can go and download it. Okay, so this is just a shorter PowerPoint presentation of those notes, but with all the basic understanding which is required. The detailed notes are there in the Telegram group and channel, and if you are having any difficulty that how you are going to write a detailed answer about these, or the UPSC standard answer of these questions, I will going to give you the model answers of all the questions which are asked on the cell biology once we have completed the cell biology chapter. So be in touch with me, stay connected and attend the regular lecture. So the seventh function is the acrosome formation. So what actually happens is in the early embryonic phase, right? The early embryogenesis phase, these proacrosome granules appear inside the Golgi apparatus, and these Golgi apparatus are near to the nucleus as said. So at the time of these embryogenesis, forming of germinal cells. These proacrosmic granules which are present inside the Golgi apparatus, there are many proacrosmic granules present inside the Golgi apparatus, right? So these proacrosomic granules which are present inside the Golgi apparatus, they fuse with each other. They fuse with each other and they form finally the acrosome. Okay. And this acrosome is also considered as a giant lysosome, and the reason behind it is that it is of the origin of the Golgi apparatus, and it is also the place where lysosomes are synthesized. Okay, so that's why whatever the larger part will be formed from this acrosome, that is referred as the giant lysosome. Okay, giant lysosome is not early endosome or late endosome. It is what? Acrosome. Okay. So because of the lytic glycoproteins also which are present on the acrosomal surface, it is also called as what? A giant lysosome. Then this data also suggests that whatever the plasma membrane is there on this acrosome, that is also organized by the Golgi apparatus. Okay. So because of all these reasons, this acrosome is also referred to as giant lysosome. Okay. So this acrosome's formation is one of the function of what? Golgi apparatus. Next is the lysosome formation and synthesis. As we have already covered in our earlier lecture, that lysosomes are formed and processed in the endoplasmic reticulum. When these lysosomes come from this rough endoplasmic reticulum to this Golgi bodies, right, to this Golgi network, they are further synthesized, further processed inside this Golgi network, and finally they are these primary vesicles contain enzymes and proteins from the endoplasmic reticulum. But the final processed version of this primary vesicles will be the what? Primary lysosomes, right? Primary lysosomes. This will have all the lysosomal enzymes in it, that primary lysosome. Okay. So this processing and this formation of lysosomes occurs with the help of Golgi apparatus also. There are also some cases where the Golgi apparatus is not involved in the formation of lysosomes, but this is also one pathway. Next, with the neurosecretion, as I have said, to stimulus of the external ligands and receptor, whatever the macromolecules or the neurotransmitters which are stored inside the vesicles of these vesicles which are formed out of this Golgi apparatus, those neurotransmitters inside these vesicles are released whenever there is a need, right? So this is the neurosecretion. It is also a function. Okay. Next is the pigment formation. What is shown is after the study on the cancers or the tumor cells is that the melanin pigments are synthesized or are supposed to be synthesized in the Golgi apparatus. Okay. So this is one of the function of the Golgi apparatus, pigment formation. Next function is the regulation of fluid balance. See, inside the cell there is this vacuoles also and this Golgi apparatus also, right? So this Golgi apparatus and vacuoles, what does they do is that if there is more water inside the cell, these vacuoles and Golgi apparatus can absorb some amount of water. Okay, that's why consuming the excess water inside the cell cytoplasm. If there is a need of the water, they can release the inside water present inside them. So in other way, they are just balancing the fluid inside the cell, right? So that's why this regulation of fluid balance is one of the function of the Golgi apparatus. Okay. So this is all the diagram which I have already explained. So this is you can draw this diagram whenever you have been asked a note on Golgi apparatus also. This will be the perfect diagram. Only a handmade diagram by me, for your conceptual clarity. So this is it for today's lecture, the part 2 of the lecture 7. Okay. So we will meet in the next lecture. Have a great day. Bye bye.